Hi, this is IK. Welcome to clone project from repository, GitHub. View terminal. I want this address. I want clone a project to this address. How to folder and all that path what I copy. And now git clone what? I must get address of project. Here it is, my repository, project tank1. All the time we learn in that project, and here it is code. Copy this address, copy, get back to editor, Ctrl A, enter, and now cd tank1 folder, here it is, and npm install. Okay, now file open tank1. Here is a tank1, and welcome, we don't need. Here it is, npm start and npm start and here it is. Application is here, and we can learn from it. F12. Here it is, console. Here is Redux. Fetch post pending, fetch post fulfilled. Init is initial state created by postsSlice, created by store. Here it is. State, post array 0, status idle, error null. It is a state. Here postsSlice visible, postsSlice. PostSlice, here it is, PostSlice, here it is, initial state. When it is installed in store, here is store, when call postsSlice, import postsSlice, and configure, create, configure store, name of that function said what that function does, configure store. And in that process, that configuration of store, that process create initial state. And after that, we have rendered it is initial state, and this configure store, it is before any component rendering, any component from React rendered. It is visible in index.js. In index.js, we see that store props equal our store, and it is calling this is called provider. A React element provider is called. Who call it? It is root application, React application method render. Here is started, and in parameter, all what is in parameter is called. It means will be execute, and like that would be execute provider, React element provider. We import it, here it is, from React Redux. And import from the React Redux package, it means that provider provide Redux to React. Root.render, root is a React. A provider provide Redux to React. Redux is a separate configuration. It is a separate team in Meta company. What create Redux? Separate team is for React, separate team for router, and separate architecture. React, separate application, React, architecture of Redux, and this provider provide Redux to our component, to our application React. How? Like this. Import provider from React Redux package. Of course, at first we must install React Redux. Import provider and write script like this. It is open tag, open tag of a React element provider, and it is closed tag. And between them is our fundamental component app, fundamental component of React. And that provider, there is a props store. Execution of provider means execution, this props equal store, and here is a store execute. When store is execute, store import postsSlice store, import postsSlice. PostSlice is reducer, is declarative configuration of reducer, and that reducer store, it is configuration of store here, and the store, inside of store we have reducer, and that reducer is import from this postsSlice. PostSlice is a declarative configuration, like store also, declarative configuration. Declarative means we don't need a lot of coding. Configure store, create all for us. One reducer, we have only one state, post, and one state, one post reducer, because we need a reducer for immutable way changing post, state post. It is array would be changed in immutable way, and reducer is for that. Function of reducer is change state in immutable way. How? State is output of reducer. Input is copy of that state, and action object. Action object means two properties: script, what we call type of action, and payload. Payload is payload is always a post. Payload depend about add, post, delete, about feature, about what we do, and add post, delete post, etc. In any case, post is always array of post, and copy it would be in output of reducer, and copy of that would be input state, and action would be other input in reducer. Two input, one output, it is reducer because of name reducer. And action is what to do with payload. How payload connect with a copy of state, push, delete, etc., etc. It is post reducer, and it means configure store does all what we need instead of us. But of course, we know what we have, how many state we have. Here we have only one state, and how we call that state. It is our job that we code it. And you look at it is a little coding. It is declarative programming. Of course, postsSlice create reducer, and postsSlice also is declarative, complete, yet one configuration, excellent example of declarative programming. Here it is post list, because all that thank function, it is in middleware, all that thank function. Here is a postsSlice. Here is a create slice function. All that here is a method add case, object builder and method add case, extra reducer. All that together configure reducer, and reducer must have initial state. Here it is, initial state, and we see that initial state here it is, initial state. Post, now post is empty array, status is string idle, error is null. When a use effect in post list component calls dispatch fetch post is thank dispatch at first pending type action. Here it is, pending type action. It is waiting promise, because post is again empty, status loading, it is changes, status loading, not idle but loading, it is process when we're waiting finished the end, we're waiting the end of asynchronous process. A loading end, if all is okay, we have type fulfilled, action type fulfilled. And payload of action is full list of posts. And we see that post on the screen. And we see that in it is index.js configure, and it is a state from that store postslice, and that reducer with that initial state, it is output initial state, but the input is copy of that state, and the action is nothing, because action is nothing. First action coming from a tank, it is pending type. It means there is no payload. Here in pending, post is empty, only status loading. Post, there is no post. And it is payload, there is no payload. And only here in fulfilled we have post, array post. This moment 3 posts in array post. And it is fulfilled. It is that post, the 3 post is payload. What to do with that payload? We concat it to a copy of initial state, and after that we see on the screen all that post. For this video it is enough. Thank you for watching this video.